Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash, double honors unto the elders and apostles of great millstone that rule well, and Shalom unto the 144,000 elect men of the nation of Israel, and the rest of the elect that are destined to be saved. I'm the Brother Kalab, and I'm from the GMS UK, down the Forecasters Camp, coming back at you with another lesson to help edify those of which I spoke of. So this is an article from BBC News in regards to the recent election that took place here in the UK. There was an election towards the end of last week. I think this was published 3 days ago. Yeah, we're the 11th today, aren't we, I think? Or the 12th? 11th, yeah, I say 8, 9, 10, yeah, 11th. Oh, okay, 3 days ago. So it says, Starmer under pressure as Labour suffers heavy election losses. So this dude here on the screen, this is the current UK Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, and he's the head of the Labour Party. And what's been happening is that what we've had here in the UK for the longest time is pretty much a two-party system, where you've got the Conservatives and you've got the Labour Party. Those are the two main political parties over here in the UK, which I suppose can be likened to, in America, you have the Republicans and you have the Democrats. Well, what's happening is that people are starting to turn against these two major parties. The Conservatives suffered a really crushing election loss. Was it last year or the year before? Towards the end of 2024, I think. To the Conservative Party, and everybody thought, oh, it's gonna be a new era, a new change. You know, everything's gonna be bright and it's gonna be sunshine and rainbows again. And everybody was rejoicing that, oh, Labour's in, everything's gonna be better. Well, guess what? Things ain't better. Things are worse. And now it's got to the point where people are so disillusioned by, first, the failure of the Conservatives to serve the best of the public interests, because they were just putting in all kind of measures that were hurting people, financially, on all kind of levels. So they thought, get Conservatives out, we'll return to Labour and it will be a brand new day. Well, guess what? Labour's coming in it, and they've been doing their own agenda too, which is basically the same agenda of the Conservatives. Because what a lot of these people don't realise is that no matter who you vote for, it's the same agenda in place. Now, people are being disillusioned with Labour. Now they're thinking if they vote Reform, that there's going to be a change. Well, guess what? It's not going to be a change. It's going to be the same thing again. Because all of these political parties, they all follow the same agenda. A great example of this is back in was it 2010? Or was it before that? Basically, there was an election where the Conservatives and the Liberal Democrats, which is another party here in the UK, were they came out pretty much equal in the election. So they said, I think it was called a hung parliament. So they were going to have a coalition, which was going to be the Conservatives and the Liberal Democrats. Well, guess what? Liberal Democrats just turned into the Conservative Party, because all of their campaign manifesto, all of the points that they campaigned for in their in their campaign, pretty much is just the word for it. All of the points that they said that they would do if they got into power, I don't think they accomplished any of them. They put all that on the back burner and they started behaving like Conservatives, even down to the point where all of these political parties tend to have a colour. Like the Conservatives is blue, Labour's red, Liberal Democrats is yellow. You got the Green Party and whoever else, right? But the Liberal Democrats' colour was yellow. And when they got into that hung parliament with the Conservatives, all of a sudden they started wearing purple ties. Well, what do you get if you mix blue and purple, blue and yellow? I think you get purple, right? If I'm not mistaken. What was blue and yellow, green? Oh, RGB. No. Depends if you're working on RGB or CMYK. Look, I don't want to get too technical on that. I'm thinking out loud. But the point is, they started wearing these purple ties rather than yellow ties, which obviously purple is closer. Well, actually, if you look on the color wheel, if you look on the color wheel, purple is closer to blue than yellow is. Because if you look on the color wheel, you cycle through yellow to green, then you get to blue. So for the Liberal Democrats to wear purple ties, that shows that they are more aligned with the Conservatives' view, and it was the Conservatives, uh, uh, it was the Conservative Party's political points and agendas that were being pushed, even though there was a so-called coalition. So people got very disillusioned about that. Well, it looks like the same thing is about to be repeated, because if reform gets in, everybody thinks, oh yeah, it's going to be for the great good of the people. No, 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 no. Reform is just going to keep pushing the agenda with just different puppet heads in there, because all of these parties are following the same game plan, which is of the elites, which is to institute the New World Order, right? So let me read this. It says, Starmer under pressure as Labour suffers heavy election losses. Keir Starmer has insisted he will not quit as Prime Minister and plunged the country into chaos as Labour reels from significant election losses. The results in England, Scotland and Wales have piled pressure on Sir Keir, with some Labour MPs calling for him to set a timetable for his departure, although his cabinet allies have backed him for now. Yeah, it says Labour has lost power in Wales, ending its 27-year rule. That's a long time. That's nearly 3 decades. While the SNP remains the largest party in Scotland, Reform UK has been the big winner in England, picking up more than 1,400 seats and taking control of councils in areas where Labour and Conservatives have been historically dominant. The BBC's projected national share, PNS, which is calculated from results in more than 1,000 wards and estimates the general election where people voted along similar lines, makes Reform the largest party on 26% of the vote share. The PNS puts the Greens in second on 18%, followed by Labour and Conservatives neck and neck. Yeah, so they're it's looking like there could be a new two-party system, but it's not going to change anything. Now, another area where the Labour lost a lot of people's public support is when they tried to recently stop people's disability benefits and force people back into work when they're not capable of doing that. And that's something that the Conservative Party was trying to do under Rishi Sunak. So that basically opened people's eyes somewhat to the fact that, well, there's no difference between whether you vote Conservative or Labour. But even with that being said, people are too stupid to realise that this whole voting system is rigged anyway. Now they're thinking, well, yeah, well, if you vote Reform, there's going to be change and everything like that. No, ain't going to be no change, man. It's just going to be the same agenda with different puppet heads in place. So Labour has lost more than 1,100, forgive me. Labour has lost more than 1,100 English council seats, including in its heartlands across northern England and the Midlands, and faces further difficult results as counting continues throughout Friday. So we've already passed that point. The results are bleak for Labour in Wales, where Plaid Cymru is now the biggest party in a developed parliament, with Reform as the main opposition. And the thing about this Reform Party is this Reform Party tends to appeal to a lot of you Edomite racists out here in this country, because they're always talking about how they need to do get the immigrants out and all this other shit, So that really stokes the strokes the ego of a lot of these racist Edomites out here. Anyway, meanwhile, in Scotland, the SNP is the largest party in Scotland, but fell short of an overall majority. Labour, who not so long ago harboured ambitions of toppling the SNP, finished a distant second on 17 seats, tied with Reform, which made their electoral breakthrough in Scotland. Labour's poor showing in the elections has fueled further questions about Sir Keir's leadership, which have been growing for months. In a bid to head off pressure, Sir Keir has written a piece in Saturday's Guardian vowing to stay on course and build unity. This is laughable because there ain't no unity in these political parties either. Because even though people are in political parties, like let's say you've got the PM, you've got a lot of people under him really wanting to oust him, if that's the word to use, and get into his position, because everybody wants to be the Prime Minister. So like this is a great example of Satan's house being divided, because there's no unity even amongst their own parties. There's a lot of, as they say, political posturing, people forming alliances and planning coups and all this kind of shit. It's just Satan against Satan. While we must respond to the message that voters have sent us, that doesn't mean tacking right or left, he said. It means bringing together a broad political movement, being assertive about our values, bold in our vision, and addressing people's demands, unifying rather than dividing. Yeah, you can't unify your house, Satan, because it's through. Let's read that. Matthew 12 and 26. Matthew 12 and 25, in fact. And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How then shall his kingdom stand? There you go. Satan's divided, man. This is Revelation 13 and 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and spake as a dragon. Yeah, this is a vision that John had in regards to this beast system. Now, this beast system is we got the whore riding the beast, which is America, and the beast system is NATO and the EU. Now, this verse which talks about I beheld the beast which had 2 horns like a lamb and spake as a dragon. Those 2 horns represent that 2-party system, and the fact that it spake as a dragon meant it's got draconian decrees. Draconian. Let me look that word up. It's like it got advert here. Yeah, draconian of laws and their application as in excessively harsh and severe. So that's what this system is basically imposing on the people, draconian decrees. And that's why these people are starting to get, people are getting in their feelings now and thinking that if they vote for a different party, it's going to change. Because a key issue in this whole thing has been Labour's insistence of the national digital ID cards. Yeah? Is it cards or is it going to be online? I said card, but I think it's going to be an online digital ID. Forgive me for misspeaking on that. Yeah, so they want everybody to have this national digital ID, and a lot of people think that this is just a Labour Party idea. No, you got it twisted, my friend. This is a scheme that is basically put in place by the elites. So any party that comes into power, be it Conservative, be it Green Party, be it Labour, Liberal Democrats, or Reform, guess what? They're all going to push this agenda because that's what the elites want. Because this agenda is what's going to lead to the MOTB, which is the implantable RFID microchip system, which is the mark of the beast. And that's what this whole this beast, this system wants. Doesn't matter whether you're living in the UK or if you're living in America or if you're living in India or China or Italy, wherever you are in the world, this system is being pushed by whatever political party is in power in that country. So yeah, vote Reform all you want, vote Green Party all you want, vote Conservative, vote Labour, thinking you're going to change shit, but you ain't changing shit, because guess what? This is the agenda of the Heavenly Father. You know, people, sometimes they think, oh, the mark of the beast, yeah, that's something Esau's trying to push. Nah, this is the Most High's will. The Most High has just used Esau to bring it forth. Now, the Most High has made this MOTB to push it so that he can try those that dwell upon the earth to see which are going to be faithful and which ones are going to bow down before the image of the beast. Let's get this. It's Book of Revelation 13, verse 16. And he calls, I'll read from verse 15, yeah? And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So this is the time we're coming into, where these severe draconian measures are going to be put in place, and it's going to be by penalty of death. You know, we're coming back into these times, right? Verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So this implementation of the implantable RFID microchip, which is known in the Bible of the mark of the beast, is going to come to pass because it's the will of the Heavenly Father. Now the scriptures say this, Revelation 14 and verse 9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up for ever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receive the mark of his name. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High and the faith of Yahushua. So yeah, by taking that mark, that's an instant death sentence. Yeah, it may seem like you're prolonging your life or preserving your life on this side, because you'll be able to eat, you'll be able to travel, you'll be able to work, you'll be able to socialize, you'll be able to use public transport, all of these things, right? But guess what? He that seeketh to save his life shall lose it. Let's get that one. This is Matthew 16 verse 25. Let's read from 24. Yeah, 24. Matthew 16:24. Then said Yahushua unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever shall lose his life for my sake shall find it. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? So yeah, a lot of these people out here who still under the illusion and delusion of this two-party political system, as if their future depends upon it and they can trust in these systems to do good for the people. They're the same people that are going to be deluded into taking this mark because they're still buying into the bullshit, right? So it says, let's finish off this article. It says, how much more is there? I don't know if there's really much more going into this. Yeah, I think I made the point, to be honest. I mean, yeah, it's just some, historic shift. Yeah, I don't need to go into this too much. The point's been made, man. So yeah, a lot of people who are still caught up in this two-party political system, they're going to be caught up in the MOTB. And as I said before, a lot of the reason why, the three major reasons why reformers gain so much political power is because the illusion of the two-party system is declining in people's eyes, because they saw that Conservative and Labour were pushing the same policies, even though their campaign manifestos said different things. Second one was the disability thing, threatening to take away people's disability benefits. That really crushed Labour and people's support for them. And the third one was the digital ID thing. So, people think that running to Reform or running to the Green Party or whoever else is going to prevent them from getting digital IDs. Guess what? It ain't going to change jack shit. Because that digital ID is going to be passed. It's going to go through because that's a key stepping stone to the MOTB, which is exactly what all of these parties want and what the elites want. And that's what's going to happen. And ultimately, it's what the Most High wants to happen. That's the bottom line. So with that, Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson to those who have been watching and listening and learning. So with that, I want to once again give all praises, honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakhakwadash, double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and Shalom unto the 144,000 elect men of the nation of Israel and the rest of the elect that are destined to be saved, because those are the people that these lessons are ultimately aimed for and meant to edify. So with that, I want to once again say Shalom, and I'll catch you on the next lesson, Lord willing. Shalom for now.